I don't know if we, the people of the United States, are warmongers or just our leaders, but there will be no end to Obama or the next president's war authority, it appears. Remember the 2001 resolution, the authorization for use of military force, passed not too long after the September 11th attacks. Remember that? And it gave the President of the United States more or less carte blanche to use force whenever the President felt it was necessary to work against, terrorists. The House rejected an amendment last night that would have repealed that now 15-year-old authorization for the use of military force. The vote was 138 to stop it and 285 to keep it going. An amendment sponsor, Barbara Lee, Democrat of California, noted yesterday that the broad war authorization that went into effect 15 years ago has been used to justify military action in, sit down, 14 countries, a total of 37 times. 18 from Bush, 19 from Obama. You surprised? Nah. Lee added, and this report that comes from the Congressional Research Service only looks at unclassified incidents. How many other times, she said, has it been used without the knowledge of Congress or the American people? Oh, Christ, Barbara, you kidding me? Endlessly. Barbara Lee was the only, let me repeat, the only member of Congress to vote against the authorization for the use of military force in 2001. And she said she opposed that authorization, quote, because I believed it opened the door for any president to wage endless war without a congressional debate or a vote. And I believe, quite frankly, that history has borne that out. End quote, Barbara Lee. She added that the authorization, the AUMF, was not only used to fight large-scale wars, but that it's been used, her words, quote, much closer to home to allow warrantless surveillance and wiretaps, indefinite detention practices at Guantanamo, and targeted killing by drones, end quote. Now, the authorization that is now 15 years old is being used as a legal justification for whatever it is that we're doing against ISIS. In the first place, Obama, for whatever reasons, I'm sure he has them. First of all, the American people are fucking psychotic, but he's insisting that the troops that we have in Iraq and over in that section of the Middle East are not there to engage in combat, which in fact is exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing. Was it former CIA Director Gates, former whatever the hell he was besides that, Secretary of the War or whatever, for Bush and then for Obama, he was interviewed by, I don't know. I saw some of the interview, and Gates, he's now the chancellor at what university? Is it Rutgers? I don't know. He's a chancellor at university now. But I think he's the one that said, to pretend that we do not have American combat troops active in 3 or 4 countries right now is unexcusable. And the fact that Obama is using this weasel language to cloak what we're doing is even worse. "37 times in 14 countries." 14 countries. Endless war. Now, according to Huffington Post, there's a growing coalition of lawmakers who think the president, this president, the next president, needs a new war authorization for military operations against ISIS. You know, we got to cancel that one, get a new one, a new authorization. Authorization. Where in the Congress, or I'm sorry, where in the Constitution does it say only Congress will have the right to authorize a war? Well, it doesn't. You know it as well as I do. But there's a growing coalition of lawmakers who think we need a new one. And while Barbara Lee said lawmakers, for the most part, are splintered on what a new authorization for the use of military force would look like, she asserted that many agree that an overly broad and nearly 15-year-old one, the one that's being used and has been used for 15 years, represents, quote, a major and very concerning deterioration of congressional oversight, end quote. Congressional oversight? Oversight of what? These miserable sons of bitches haven't done anything for it. Oversight of what? Ah, that's right. Benghazi. Okay. Forgot about that for a minute. But there's still a large block of members who aren't ready to yank that authorization. I mean, if they do, there would be a momentary lapse of reason where we would not be able to wage war until a new authorization of military force was enacted by the Congress. And given the insanity of this Congress, Democrat and Republican, mostly Republican, but Democrat too, given that madness that is loose in the halls of Congress, how would they ever agree on a new authorization of military force? What they ought to do is just wait until Trump is president, which he will be if Clinton and Trump are the two-party nominees. It'll be President Trump. Wait until he is president and then rewrite the authorization for the use of military force.